right. Shabbat Shalom. Long time no see. This is Shabbat Shuvah. It's our Sabbath of return. People ask me, but Cantor, weren't we just here? We were here. Physically we were here, but the return we're talking about is a spiritual one. It's a return to ourselves, to our souls, to the truest part of us. So we begin with words of return. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn and return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn and reborn. Ashivenu Adonai Elecha. Return again, return again, return to the land of your soul. Ven Ashuvah, Ven Ashuvah. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are born and reborn and Yameinu kekedem, Yameinu kekedem, Yameinu kekedem.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I really do believe we should change the name of Shabbat Shuvah to Shabbat Mishugah, because only the really crazy Jews come back between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur to hear another sermon. But today it will be not so crazy, because the sermon will be delivered by our Director of Education, our Rabbi Educator, Ariana Gordon, and it will be a treat, as it always is at this time of year. Also, another reason that maybe we should keep the name Shabbat Shuvah is Jews members return from all over the country for the holidays, including from Arizona. And so we call upon Laura Miller to come forward for the honor of opening, not opening the Ark, don't do that yet, of lighting the Shabbat candles on page 13.
Light is the foundation of life, yet impossible to touch. Light is flowers growing and fruit trees blossoming, photosynthesis and rainbows shimmering. Light is energy and romance, enlightenment and lightning. Light is red and violet and magenta and blue, lasers and campfires, warmth and illumination, the sunset and the dawn. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, eternal source of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to kindle the lights of Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu our service on page 34.
לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה שמעו וזכו בדיבור אחד ונשמיענו אליך מיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד השם הוא תפארת ונתהילה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה עשה במחשבה תהילה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה אוי ושלום עטרת בעלה גם בשמחה ובצהלה תוך אמוני ים סגולה בואי חלה בואי חלה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת קלה בני שבת לקבלה 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 לך דודי לך דודי לך דודי לך דודי.
We turn in our prayer books to page 86. A special prayer for Shabbat Shuvah. O God, the soul you have given me is a pure one. Our Father, our King, in the year that has passed we have sinned, we have transgressed, we have missed the mark. This is our Sabbath of repentance, our Sabbath of return. To God, to Torah, to deeds of loving kindness. As we continue on page 42.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה, אמן. בעלמא דברה חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומכון בחיי דכל בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ויאמרו אמן יהי שמי רבא מבורך לעולם ולעולמי עלמיא יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי קודשה בריחו לילה מכל ברכתה ושירתה ושמחתה ונחמתה דמירה מעלמא דמירו אמן.
Continuing together at the top of page 45. If fear is like a rock, then let me be a hammer. If sorrow is a fire, then let me be the sea. When challenges arise, may my heart increase in strength, like the moon that shines brighter when the darkness falls. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, O God, who makes the evening fall. Page 50. O God, you traveled with our fathers as they journeyed through the wilderness. You sang with our fathers at the shores of the Red Sea. You stood with our fathers as they fought against oppression. You have brought us all here, fathers and mothers, daughters and sons, to our own promised land of freedom.
Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai echad. As you're seated, we join together. Page 57. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם, אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים, אני אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Page 61. Standing at the waters of the Red Sea, at the Mason-Dixon line, at the walls of the Warsaw Ghetto, the Berlin Wall, the wall that separates men from women, the privileged from the persecuted, perpetrator from victim, the master from the slave. We cry out as did our ancestors in ancient days, let my people go, let all God's people be free, so that we may dance and sing together once again at the shores of the Red Sea.
בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. מלכותך ראו בניך, בוקי עולם לפני משה, זה אלינו ואמרו, זה אלינו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 יא לה לה לה, יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה, יא לה 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 יא לה 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 לה. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וכי הלא מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
We continue together in the middle of page 64. Cause us, our Creator, to lie down in peace, and raise us up, O sovereign God, to renewed life and peace. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel, and be our shield of mercy and of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim. Blessed are you, Adonai, whose shelter of peace is spread over us, over all your people Israel, and over Jerusalem.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורות דורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, דורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם.
Page 68.
אדוני שפתי תפתח לפי יגיד יראתך. Eternal God, open my lips, let my mouth may declare your glory. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avoteinu v'Imoteinu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Leah, Elohei Rachel, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor, Ve'hanora, Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'koneh ha'akol, Ve'zocher hasei avot ve'imavot, U'mevii geula livnei bneihem, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע מגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה.
We read together on page 69. Prayer invites us to let God's presence suffuse our spirits, to let God's will prevail in our lives. Prayer cannot bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, and rebuild a weakened will. Baruch atah Adonai, Machayeh HaKol. Blessed are you, O God, who renews all things.
אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
As you're seated, we pray silently.
We are all part of a really special community, and those of you who are here in this room tonight, between Rosh Hashanah, getting ready for your whatever 12-hour day here in Yom Kippur, you all know how special this community is. So we come together, we pull our prayers, and we send healing to those who need it, people who are ill in our families and our lives, perhaps those who are experiencing the holidays without a loved one for the first time. We send our good vibes, our prayers their way as we turn to page 72 for Mi Sheberach.
Mi Sheberach avotenu mekor habaracha source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi Sheberach Mikor habracha la'avoteinu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Earlier this week, I picked up my 3-year-old daughter from her class here in our early childhood center. Mommy, she exclaimed, running over and giving me a big hug. I drew a shofar. Do you want to see one? And I said, yes, I want to see your drawing, but I also have one in my office. Do you want to go check it out? Yes, let's go right now. So we trooped to my office, me, my daughter Alula, our nanny pushing my son asleep in his stroller, and I pulled down the shofar I had received as a gift at my ordination and handed it to Alula. Her big eyes got even bigger. Blow the shofar, Mommy. Well, I'm not so good at blowing the shofar, but do you want to try? Yes, yes. But after we both tried blowing it and neither of us could get a sound out, Alula said, I think we both need some practice. But what's a shofar supposed to sound like? With a big smile on her face, she said, Tekiah. Most holy days in Judaism have some specific action symbol connected to them. On Passover, it's the matzah we eat. On Sukkot, it's the lulav and etrog we wave while visiting a sukkah. And on Rosh Hashanah, it is undoubtedly the shofar, a visible, recognizable ritual item that connects us, toddlers, teens, and adults alike, physically, emotionally, and spiritually to the themes of the high holidays. What is it about the shofar that makes us feel like our holidays are not complete without hearing its distinct sounds? Perhaps it's the ancient connection to the Torah. Though much of our Rosh Hashanah celebration is not detailed in the Torah, the commandment to sound the shofar is found in Leviticus. In the 7th month, on the first day of the month, you shall observe complete rest, a sacred occasion commemorated with loud blasts. And it's in Numbers. You shall observe it as a day when the horn is sounded. We often teach that the shofar is blown on Rosh Hashanah because it's connected to the day's Torah portion, the Akedah, the story of the binding of Isaac. The shofar, traditionally a ram's horn, reminds us of the ram that Abraham offered as a sacrifice in place of his son Isaac, and of our patriarchs' intense loyalty to and faith in God. The shofar was sounded at Mount Sinai as God gave the Israelite people the Torah, our most sacred book. Sounding the shofar then reminds us of our destiny to be a people of the book, studying Torah and following God's commandments. Some suggest that it's the power of the shofar that has sustained it for generations as the central ritual moment of our high holy days. It may even have magical symbolism. In the book of Joshua, as the Israelites marched to conquer Canaan, the warriors circled the walls, the priests blew their shofars as an instrument to signal battle. The Israelites gave a great shout, and the walls of Jericho fell, allowing the Israelites to seize the city. And some scholars teach that the practice of making loud noises on the new year, something that we also do on December 31st, was originally an attempt to frighten demons away so that the forces of good would triumph and the new year would be a happy one. Throughout our history, the shofar has served as a marker that the new year is upon us. When Ferdinand and Isabella, king and queen of Spain, expelled the Jews in 1492, it marked the end of the golden era of Spanish Jewry. Those Jews who did stay in Spain became conversos, pretending to be Christian in public, but keeping Jewish traditions in private. There's a story that's been passed down from this time that tells of Don Fernando, the conductor of the Royal Orchestra in Barcelona. He longed to hear the sounds of the shofar on Rosh Hashanah, but he knew that to sound the shofar would be extremely dangerous, worthy of death. So Don Fernando devised a plan and announced a special concert on Rosh Hashanah itself, featuring various world melodies using instruments from the New World. In the midst of church officials and royalty attending the concert, the shofar was blown to the secret joy of the conductor and fellow conversos in the audience. Our shofar clearly has a long, rich history, from ancient times to Middle Ages, in every generation serving to connect Jews to tradition and to the holidays. Even in the midst of the despair of the Holocaust, concentration camp prisoners found a way to blow a shofar. Some of you may have read the article in the New York Times a few weeks ago with the headline, "An Improbable Relic of Auschwitz, a Shofar That Defied the Nazis." Dr. Judith Titor Schwartz tells the story of her father, a longtime prisoner who was entrusted as a work dispatcher in an Auschwitz subcamp. On Rosh Hashanah 1944, he contrived to send fellow prisoners on work detail deep into the forest so that they might safely pray. Unbeknownst to even him, they carried with them a shofar that was blown and then given to him afterwards for safekeeping as the Nazis emptied the camps. 75 Rosh Hashanahs later, that shofar is now installed as part of an exhibit at the Museum of Jewish Heritage in Manhattan entitled Auschwitz, Not Long Ago, Not Far Away. Despite the great risk taken by these Jewish prisoners smuggling the shofar into the camps, bribing guards, going to incredible lengths to hide it, it was worth it to them. because for them, for so many of us, the shofar symbolizes our Jewish soul. Our rabbis teach that if a person has to decide whether to go to a synagogue where there's someone who knows how to pray wonderfully but not hear a proper shofar, or to go to a different synagogue where she can only hear a proper shofar but the prayer service is lacking, they should go hear the shofar, because the shofar is the central, most important and dramatic mitzvah of the day. Luckily, here at Temple, you get both and don't have to make that decision. We blow 4 notes on our shofar: a demand to listen, a yearning to connect, a wake-up call reminding us that it is the Jewish New Year, a time to atone, to reflect, to return to ourselves, our family, our friends, and to God. The shofar brings us clarity, alertness, and focus. It's an opportunity to ask ourselves, am I on track? Am I focused? Am I pursuing the goals that will make a great overall difference in my life or in the world? Tonight is Shabbat Shuvah, the Shabbat of return. On this Shabbat, we're asked to take a deep look at ourselves, to examine our deeds and to consider how we can improve them, so that as the gates begin to close on Yom Kippur, we know that we've done the utmost to become the very best versions of ourselves. Yom Kippur concludes with one final blast of the shofar. What will this last Tikiyah Gedolah evoke for us? Will we be transported to biblical times, hearing a battle cry or envisioning a shofar so powerful that it brings down walls? Will we strive to be like Abraham, dedicated to God? Perhaps we will empathize with Don Fernando or the concentration camp prisoners who needed to hear the shofar so badly that they risked their lives. Or maybe we will find wholeness and holiness in the ancient sounds. For some of us, this final Tikiyah Gedolah will be simply a symbol of celebrating the holiday, like Mark Zuckerberg, who last year posted a video of himself on Facebook blowing the shofar as a celebration of Rosh Hashanah, his status update complete with an apple and honey emoji. But for me this year, the shofar will not only connect me to generations of Jews through time and space celebrating our high holy days, but it will unite me with my daughter, whose big eyes light up with childish delight at the sound of a shofar, and through whom I can return again to the true meanings of this holiday season. Shabbat Shalom.
I will take a long look at me, think about what it is I see. Have I been good to you? Did all that I said I do? Remembering the words I've used, thinking about the time I was rude. If I am thankful for this gift, let me say it with deeds, not just lips. It's going to be a brave new year, starting right now, right here. And I will be strong and stand up tall, reach out for others when they fall. I will rejoice in my faith, remember that love is why we're made. Be the very best that I can be for the world and for me. Every day we live our lives. Some days we let ourselves slide and we forget our way. Thankfully it's not too late. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu Vanenu. I may have done wrong, I know. Through my actions I will show. It's going to be a brave new year,
starting right now, right here. And I will be strong and stand up tall, reach out for others when they fall. I will rejoice in my faith, remember that love is why we're made. Be the very best that I can be, for the world and for me. Oh, Teshuvah, Teshuvah, return, oh, return. Teshuvah, oh, Teshuvah, oh, return, oh, return. It's going to be a brave new year, starting right now, right here. Stand up strong and tall, reach out for others when they fall. I will rejoice in my faith, remember that love is why we're made. Be the very best that I can be, for the world and for me. Oh, Teshuvah, Teshuvah, return, oh, return. Teshuvah, oh, Teshuvah, return, oh, return. Teshuvah, Teshuvah, return, oh, return.
Should we say it together? Wow. Wow. And wow. We keep Rabbi Gordon tucked away in her office as our Director of Education, and we're so happy to have you here tonight. That was really an amazing sermon. Thank you. Thank you for the message. And I don't mean we keep you tucked in there. Just mean you're not usually giving sermons here, so. It was meant to be a compliment. I'll just stop talking now. It's all good. We're going to turn now to the adoration which begins on page 189, or is on 189. We invite the youngest members of our congregation, everybody 11 years old and younger. Please join us here on the bima for a special treat. We rise together.
ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Please be seated. We invite now a member of our executive committee, Joe Biegelman, to come forward and deliver our congregational announcements.
I thought it was a great sermon, too. And as my son looks over at me and says, "Dad, I know this story," I'm shushing him as I'm gleaming with pride. Shabbat Shalom. Shana Tova. Yom Kippur begins on Tuesday, October 8th with Kol Nidre services at 7 and 9 p.m. There's also a teen-led family service at 7:15. While you're here on Yom Kippur Day, join Rabbi Gordon at 11:30 for her study session, 10 Things You Never Knew About the High Holy Days. Then at 1:30, join Noreen Freeman for The Honeymoon is Over, a look at the relationship between God and Jonah. We've set up a special page on our website that has all the information you need about service times, requesting tickets, and babysitting. You can also stream live services, of course, if you can't make services. Help us decorate the Temple Israel Sukkah on Saturday morning, October 12th, as part of the Shabbat for Tots. Enjoy a bagel breakfast, crafts, Shabbat songs, and prayers as we shake the lulav and etrog in the sukkah with our clergy. And finally, please note that in observance of the high holidays, we will be closed at noon on Tuesday and all day Wednesday. For more information or any of our programs, check the brochures as you leave, visit the website's calendar, or call the Temple office during regular business hours. Please join us after services for the Oneg and Shabbat greetings. On behalf of the Board of Trustees and the Executive Board, we want to wish all of you a Shabbat Shalom and a happy and healthy New Year.
If you'll turn in your prayer books now to page 195. We often don't read the readings that come before the Kaddish. We take a moment of silent meditation, or we enter into just the moment of memory, but I found a personal meaning in these words, so I'll share them with you. I stand stopped in a world that keeps moving. I feel still in a day that keeps turning. The ticks of the clock remind me of the moments without you. The chimes mark memories we could have made. I move through time knowing I must keep going. Observe the ticking away. Let the moments of absence be felt. As the winds of life swirl around me, I let them carry me along my way. My new moments will be marked by remembrance. You will be the light of my pathway and the strength of my step. The light may sometimes dim, but it is always there. The step might seem to falter, but I move forward just the same. So it is with each of us as we remember a loved one who has died. We continue to move forward, remembering them as we honor their past. We mention the names today of those who have died in these recent period of 30 days, Shloshim. Dr. Adam Apfelblatt, Cynthia Benjamin, Arnold Bernstein, Bruce Binstock, Mary Boyer, Jane Brodskaya, William Bush, Lee Colbert, Marcia Dickman, Hilda Edwards, Rose Fishoff, Ronald Fruitman, Rochelle Grant, Aryeh Gur, Julie Gerwin, Sheldon Kay, Jean Lubin, Marilee Martin, Marshall Martin, Rochelle Martin, Marty Miller, Alice Modine, Ray Peltz, Leonard Posner, Emily Rogo, Irene Rosen, Elon Rosenberg, Bobby Rothstein, Carol Sohigian, Harold Taub, Lester Weiner, Beryl Zickerman, Michael David Meyer. We also mention these names for Yartzeit: Helen H. Apsel, Marvin Barnett, Elaine Bennison, Alice Burkauer, Alvin Biederman, Barry Biederman, Arthur D. Brown, Rodney Brown, Erwin Carson, Cookie Colin, Gertrude Cohen, Harry Dermer, Tola Gilbert, Hilda Gins, David B. Goldberg, Samuel Goldman, Walter Hahn, Harold Heller, Amanda Hurwitz, Sam Kagan, Martin Kohlenberg, Ann Light, Maurice Mackey, Richard Markle, Dr. Richard Merkel, Peggy Miller, Alan Benjamin Miller, Louis Moretsky, Edward Schlossberg, Burton Schmier, Leslie Robert Schmier, George Schneider, Sonia Syme, Norman Weitz, Sherry Yarsyk, Myra Yedwab, Barbara Crane, Dr. Meyer Arbit, Lawrence Ahrens, Dr. Jeffrey Neil Lowenthal, Beatrice Hertzberg, John Latka, Bernice Latka, Frida Murav, Helene Harris, Zelda Friedman, Gary Haight, Faye Eidelman, Marty Rafel, Max Weiner, Arthur Edelstein, Molly Avery, Henry Crystal, Helen Bluford, Betty Rowe, Mike Marshak. May their souls be bound up in the bond of everlasting life. We turn to page 199, and we remember them with the words of Kaddish as we rise. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah, v'yalma divra chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon uv'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael. Ba'gala v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam le'yalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal Shemei d'Kedusha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Damiran b'alma v'imru amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'romav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May God send peace to all of us, comfort to those who are bereaved as we say together, amen.
And somebody on your right and left to put an arm around. And we conclude our service again with words of return.
Return again, return to the land of your soul. Ashivenu, Ashivenu, Adonai Elecha. Return to who you are, return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn and reborn. Return to what you are, return to where you are, born and reborn and Yameinu kekedem, Yameinu kekedem, Yameinu kekedem. Shabbat Shalom.